Hello guys. So today we will check how to create a console application in C Sharp and how to connect with the SQL server. Okay. So first we can open Visual Studio 2022. Okay. Then we can create new project that is console application. So console app. Then next console app for SQL connect. Okay. Then next, then don't frame the things, .NET 8, then just create. Okay, now it is open on program.cs file. Okay, you can just run this console application. Then we will get hello world. See, we are getting hello world. Okay, now we want to connect with SQL. So first we can create one database in SQL Server. So we can open SQL Server Management Studio and server name authentication. Okay, login is SA. Just complete SQL Server. Okay, so just expand these databases. Here we need to create one new database. So if I click new database, that is, we can tell test DB. Okay, then just click on OK. So DB created now. Okay, so now we want to create one new table. Okay, so right click here, new table. So this is customer table. So you can tell like cust underscore ID, that is integer. Okay, you can set this primary key. Next is cust underscore name, that is varchar of 100. Okay, then you can put one more field, cust underscore 4, that is worker 50. Okay, then save this. Table name is customer. Click OK and refresh the table. See here, customer table is there. Right? So now we want to just display the data. We can use select star from customer, dbo.customer. So now we can just insert two data. So here we can tell insert into table name, right? Customer, then values, customer ID 1, name is Manoj, and phone number is 332211. Okay, and one more for Savida 223355. Okay, now we can execute. So 4 rows affected. Now we will execute this query. We are getting 4 data, right? Customer ID, customer name, customer phone. Okay. So using C sharp, we need to get these values. Okay. So now we are going to C sharp. Okay. First, we need to import the SQL connection. So go to any, then you get package manager, go to solution, go to browse, Microsoft data.sql client. Click on that, select this. Latest table is 7 point something. Okay, no problem. Just install and apply this. I accept. Now we just installed the Microsoft Data SQL client, right? Now in this program.cs file, we need to open the SQL connection. So here we can tell the SQL connection, SQL is equal to new SQL connection. So here we need to use using Microsoft Data.sql client. Okay. So in the new connection, we need to pass the connection string. Okay. Your overload of functions is there. See here, we can pass that connection string. So here we need to declare one connection variable, str string, str connection that is equal to, we need to create the connection string. Okay. So in that case, we can go to view and this server explorer, right click, add connection. Here we need to use the server name. So we can go here, you can try to connect. You can use localhost also or dot also. Okay. But in my system it is not working. So we can use, so I will use the server name. Okay. Server name. Here we can connect Windows authentication or SQL authentication. So first we can check with Windows authentication. So this mandatory that we can optional, and here we can select database, that is SDB. This we can click and go to advanced. Here we will get the connection string. So copy this Click on OK. Just click on text connection. So text connection succeeded. Click on OK and OK. So now that connection you can paste here. Okay. So it will include data source, that is server name, and initial catalog, that is the DB, and integrated security, that is true, and encrypt false, trusted certificate connection, true, like that only. Okay. So these double things we can remove. We can use the verb this at the rate here. Okay. This way also you can use. And inside this, we can pass this str connection. So now put semicolon. Okay. So connection ready. Then now we need to call SQL data adapter. SQL is equal to new SQL adapter. Here we can pass the query. So here we can pass the query and connection also. So here we can tell we need to pass like this table, right? Select the star from custom. So copy this. We can tell. Otherwise, we can write. Select star from table name. Just copy. Customer. And after that, we can open that connection. So our connection is we can tell not SQL, SQL, CO. Okay. Always we need to give proper name. Okay. So SQL form. Okay. Then we need to create one data table. Data table. DT is equal to new data table. Then we need to fill this data. So SPA dot fill. We can fill data table. Okay. Now, so these all data are now in this data table. So we need to loop through each of those. Okay. So here we can use for each data row br in beauty dot rows. Okay. Now we need to print. We can type console dot right line. First, we need to print customer ID. So we can tell like ID that is 0. Here we can tell dr of that column name. Column name is cust ID, cust underscore ID. Cust underscore ID. Next, we want name. full colon. Here we need to pause. Yeah. Then we need to tell dr first underscore name, right? First underscore name. Next is first underscore form. Next form that is equal to 2. You can tell dr of first underscore form. Now we can just try to run. See, we are getting ID1, name, and phone number, ID2. Okay. Now we are returning the data, right? Okay. So now we successfully return the data from SQL Server. So this is in Windows mode only, right? Now we can check with the other connection string also. Okay. In mixed mode. Then go to Server Explorer. Edit this connection. Go to modify connection. Here we need to change the SQL Server authentication. So this is in my case, it is SA. The password is just password 203. Okay. Then go to advanced and select this, copy this. So test connection succeeded. Then click on OK. Okay, then now we need to just check. Use this. So here, data source, initial catalog, user ID. Okay, so here we need to add password also. This is equal to password 23. Okay. Just comment this. Control V. We can put attach. Okay. Now save this. I think something missing. I think semicolon. Okay. We missing semicolon. Now we can run this code. Okay, something making feel. Okay, sorry guys. We missed here semicolon. Okay, so password. After that, we can put semicolon. Okay. Now we can run. Now also we are getting the output. So now we are successfully connected with the SQL server. Okay. Okay, guys. Thank you. Thanks for watching.